By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I hereby constitute this assembly as a legal congregation of the University of Pretoria. During this assembly, degrees and certificates with all the associated rights and privileges will be conferred and awarded to the candidates whose names appear in the program. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to join us in a silent prayer or meditation to give thanks for the achievements of our students. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a hearty welcome to all of you at this graduation ceremony of our esteemed Faculty of Education. It's a great pleasure for me to officiate at this auspicious event where 294 degrees will be conferred and 138 certificates will be awarded. This figure includes 10 doctorates, 19 master's degrees, 99 honors degrees. And I wish to convey congratulations from our Chancellor and Vice Chancellor and all of us in the executive team to the graduating class. The Dean and the Faculty of Education have done a sterling job to guide you up to this pinnacle of your scholarly achievements. I also convey their heartfelt congratulations to you and your families for achieving this milestone. In celebrating our achievement, it is fitting that we should also give recognition to all those people who have supported you during your studies. And it could have been academically, it could have been financially or emotionally, socially. And of course, I would like you to join me in giving a round of applause to the supervisors, lecturers, mentors, tutors, librarians, administrative staff and assistants, the spouses, families, friends, partners, sponsors, and of course your significant others who have been there for you all the time. Your support through the course of the degree and certificates is sincerely appreciated. Please let's give them a round of applause. Before we proceed to the formalities and head off to the well-deserved celebrations that some of you will be having, and of course a long weekend ahead of us, allow me to share with you a few thoughts on the University of Pretoria and specifically the Faculty of Education. As a higher education institution of choice in the African continent, this university aims to provide first-class undergraduate and postgraduate training and produce socially impactful research to find solutions for the most pressing issues facing the country and the world. We achieve this first through high-impact quality teaching and innovative research. Developing people and creating knowledge and making a difference locally and globally are key goals of our strategic vision and plan as the University of Pretoria. In pursuit of teaching excellence, the Faculty of Education has embraced the hybrid teaching and learning model, which offers an optimal blend of face-to-face student-lecturer interface and of course, visual or online learning opportunities. The Groenkloof campus, which is home to the Faculty of Education, has some of the best infrastructure and facilities, and of course comparable to the best in the country. We also offer a host of support services to help and guide students throughout their studies, and of course extracurricular activities to inculcate a responsible citizenship and promote holistic development of our students. And I wish to state in categoric terms that education changes everything. Education changes everything. As a result, teachers graduating from the University of Pretoria are rated as the most easily employed of all the South Africa's universities. The same applies to graduates from other faculties as well. A UP graduate is prepared professionally and is of course recognized as having in-depth subject knowledge and being adaptable and able to extend their knowledge to cope with changing curricula and societal needs, as well as being creative and confident in all they do. From the current 3,500 B.Ed students who call Groenkloof campus their home, the teaching profession as a scarce skill transforms lives. And it transforms lives of hundreds of thousands of learners and students every year. In a country where youth unemployment is at an all-time low, or all-time high, rather, it is clear that this employability is essential and quality education remains a priority for all of us. The Faculty of Education at the University of Pretoria is ranked in the top 200 in the world on the QS World subject rankings, and also rated as a top educational faculty in South Africa in terms of the number of NRF rated researchers. In January this year, Dr. Funke Omodire from the Department of Educational Psychology, for example, received the 2019 AISA Emerging Researcher Award for her extraordinary achievement by contributing to and promoting the scientific status of the field of education. In November last year, two of our lecturers, Dr. Talita Kalitz from the Department of Education Management Policy Studies and Dr. Gerard Genes from the Department of Humanities, celebrated the publication of books in their respective specialist fields. Ladies and gentlemen, these people are but a few of the world-class lecturers and researchers and supervisors from whom our students who are graduating today and those that will follow in this faculty have the privilege to learn from. The faculty is internationally recognized, and this is because of its reputation and its employability status of the graduate and research citations. And its Bachelor of Arts degree finds strength in the well-established partnerships with leading specialized departments in other faculties within the university. Last week, for example, the university was an important partner and contributor to the groundbreaking announcement by a talented international research team, including our very own astrophysicist, Professor Roger Dean, who showed the entire world the first real image of a black hole at M87. What was previously in the minds of astronomers and a mere theory is now in hand for the whole world to see. Some tell me it's also biblical. We are proud to be associated with this historic scientific leap, and we hope that the University of Pretoria will continue to become a global player in a significant way. And the physics department is but one of the partners with the Faculty of Education in the university. It is important to remember that much of what is achieved in universities today can be attributed to the foundations that have been laid by good teachers at the early childhood development phase, the primary phase and the secondary phase. To honor and support the work of teaching, we must also honor students. Students as teachers, teachers as students. We can't push education to be more and do more without starting from a position of trust and compassion for our students. In 2018, I received a thought-provoking email which I would like to share with you this morning. It is one of those chain messages that does the rounds from time to time, and you may have already seen this or heard about it. But nevertheless, I would like to read it, because it's quite profound. At the entrance gate of one university in our continent, the following message was posted for contemplation. Destroying any nation does not require the use of atomic bombs or the use of long-range missiles. It only requires lowering the quality of education and allowing cheating in the examinations by students. Patients die at the hands of such doctors. Buildings collapse at the hands of such engineers. Money is lost at the hands of such economists and accountants. Humanity dies at the hands of such religious leaders, because we also see religious leaders now. And justice is lost in the hands of such judges. The collapse of education is the collapse of a nation, close quote. And I know that I'm preaching to the converted, but the message nonetheless merits contemplation. I wish to emphasize that quality matters and quality suffers. When you as an educationist is actually nonchalant about quality. Dear graduates, it is my sincere hope that your UP qualifications will continue to empower you to play a constructive role in society. And in conclusion, I wish to state that it is urgent that we have well-trained teachers. It is urgent that we have well-trained teachers, as we do at UP. It is urgent that we employ them. It is urgent that we employ them and pay them and support them with adequate resources. But it is also urgency which defines the project of teaching. In a political climate increasingly defined by its obstinacy, anti-intellectualism, and deflection of fact and care, in a society still divided across racial lines, nationality, religion, gender, sexuality, income, ability, and privilege, teaching has an important and urgent role to play as a mother of all professions, as we know. Be a proud model, a worthy ambassador, and a techie that never forgets where you come from. And I know in your profession, in comparison to others, you will make a huge impact. But when you start making money, just remember us as well. At UP, your donations will go a long way to change the lives of many. All that remains is for me to wish you well as you start with your new chapter in life and celebrate your remarkable achievement with your loved ones. Best wishes for a successful career and fulfilling lives, and make today matter, and I thank you. I now request the Dean to introduce to me candidates present whose names appear in the program.
As the Vice Principal, the supervisors will now introduce the doctoral candidates.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, I introduce to you Mrs. Bernice Badal, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled The Influence of Teacher Voice on Educational Change, prepared under my supervision. In her thesis, The Influence of Teacher Voice on Educational Change, the promovenda explored how teachers' perceptions of their agency in the policy environment shape and pattern their constructions of teacher voice in their context of enactment. Findings revealed: first, conflict and contestation in participants' constructions of teacher voice, which were filtered through faulty conceptualizations of the reform and the lack of space to influence educational change. Second, apathetic compliance in teachers' efforts towards their work in response to the paradigm of constraint within which they worked. Third, passive resistance and masks of compliance as teachers wish to follow their own impulses instead of being regulated by hierarchical structures. And fourth, the discovery of a new stance, namely proactive, compliant teacher voice, which illustrated that despite the crushing bureaucracy inherent in prescriptive paradigms of educational change, teacher voice can influence educational change. Policy-making processes should include teachers to ensure ownership and transformative agency. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, I introduce to you Baguma Innocent, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Integrating ICT into the Teaching Practice of Academics at a University, prepared under my supervision. In his thesis, Integrating ICT into the Teaching Practice of Academics at a University, the promovendus employed an exploratory qualitative case study to investigate how academics integrate information and communication technology into their teaching practice at a Ugandan university. Findings were fourfold. Firstly, academics used existing ICT technology and software in very simplistic ways to enhance the delivery of course content. Secondly, academics were disillusioned by the learning management system of the institution that was inhibiting and abandoned it in favor of Web 2 technologies. Thirdly, academics' self-efficacy skills in the use of social media tools enhanced their teaching pedagogy and stimulated learner engagement. Fourthly, academics' beliefs about the affordances that ICT brings to teaching and learning augmented their resilience to pursue ICT integration in a resource-constrained environment. This study recommends that academics should possess the relevant technology knowledge and skills to meet the needs of 21st century learners. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I introduce you Mrs. Nadine Broodryk, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Being a Student in the 21st Century, an autoethnographical narrative prepared under my supervision. In her thesis, Being a Student in the 21st Century, an autoethnographic narrative, the promovenda obviously focused on this central question. Besides herself as primary participant and those who were part of her education, her inclusion of world-renowned futurist experts elevated her research into the realm of universality. Her exhibition of exceptional scholarship in the complex autoethnographic research methodology and analytics led to the breakthrough of exposing knowledge and skills as the currently assumed operating system of a student as essentially deficient in view of the challenging demands of the 21st century. Her research reveals a radically different and qualitatively demanding operating system which is ontologically human in nature. It is the student as human being of which its self-management has become essential. And amidst the hacking of brains in the fourth industrial revolution being a reality, the student's transformation through the attainment of virtues that constitutes ethical competence of moral excellence has become primary. This transcends the nature of being a student far beyond anything that we have imagined before. Her message to the students of the 21st century is, like Paul Hawken articulated 2 decades ago, and has since become utterly critical, is the following. You are graduating to the most amazing, stupefying challenge ever bequeathed to any generation. The generations before you failed. They didn't stay up all night. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on this exceptional student.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the student.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Ilse de Bruin, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Multimedia Guidelines for Vocabulary Apps Assisting Early Language Learners Learning in Children with Autism Spectrum Disorder, prepared under my supervision and with Professor Merlin Herselman and the late Professor Helene Gelderblom as co-supervisors. In her thesis, the promovenda incorporated design science research following a pragmatic approach and applying an embedded mixed method design to collect both qualitative and quantitative data, resulting in the creation of a robust final artifact. The design science research model included 4 phases. Eye tracking was incorporated as children with autism interacted with vocabulary apps. Video coding and checklists were utilized to analyze the data. Purposeful sampling obtained expert opinions from speech therapists and an educational specialist. This resulted in the initial and intermediate artifacts. The results were comprehensive multimedia guidelines that ensured educational value, emphasis on letters and words being taught, activation of sensory, working and long-term memory, sensitivity towards visual, tactile and auditory stimuli, and applicable graphic design principles for children with ASD. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Nkululeko Lungile Dlamini Nkumalu, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Understanding Teachers' Use of Computer-Based Simulations in Teaching Electrolysis, prepared under my supervision and with Dr. Trisha Salagram as co-supervisor. In her thesis, the promovenda explored how teachers use computer-based simulation in teaching secondary school chemistry. The study used the consensus model to interpret the collected data and also themes generated from the data. The study used a qualitative approach to collect data from 3 chemistry teachers using open-ended questionnaires, unstructured interviews, classroom observations, as well as document analysis. The major findings of the study showed that poor content knowledge emerged as a limiting factor in the efficient use of computer-based simulations. The research contributes new knowledge about the need development in content knowledge and pedagogical content knowledge, and that computer-based simulations does not compensate for gaps in teachers' knowledge. Insights gained from this study will inform the effective use of computer-based simulations in countries where they are not used yet, and also where they are used so that they are used appropriately. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Cara Grace Mackay, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled The Educational Journeys of Female Farm Activists in the Western Cape, South Africa, prepared under my supervision. In her thesis, The Educational Journeys of Female Farm Activists in the Western Cape, South Africa, the promovenda explored the education process that engendered activism among 6 female farm activists who lived and or worked on commercial farms in the Western Cape, South Africa. Each of these activists participated in the non-formal popular education program of a farm-based grassroots organization, which the research called Female Farm Organization. Ethnographic data in the form of interviews, participant observation, and archival documents were used to provide a narrative account of each female farm activist education journey. A key finding of the study was that a 4-tiered education process engendered activism. Farm women learned to be activists, experienced learning while being activists, were role models and facilitators of activism for other women, and were agents of knowledge as the grassroots organization learned from their members. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Chibede Murifi, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled The Views of Role Players on the Learner Pregnancy Policy and its Implementation in Public Schools. In his thesis, the promovendus investigated selected role players' views on the learner pregnancy policy in public schools and its implementation. The views of principals, learners and parents in 4 urban and 4 township high schools in Limpopo were explored in an interpretive case study. While the participants seemed to acknowledge that pregnant learners had a constitutional right to education, most of them are not acquainted with the policy. This lack of knowledge is an impediment to the implementation of the policy, as is the fact that schools have not been provided with the necessary financial, infrastructural, and human resources. This unfunded mandate further exposes teachers to the risk of having to provide services for which they have not been prepared and for which they are not registered. Teachers also run the risk of treating parents in ways that might violate their right to dignity. There was a lack of information dissemination and capacity building on the policy. Consequently, principals and other role players have to use their own discretion in handling issues related to teenage pregnancy at their schools. They were also not involved in policy formulation, and the policy was only made available in English, which fact is a serious challenge to many parents. This policy will need more involvement by parents and other stakeholders to succeed. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Neo Jack Matobi, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled A Cross-Country Comparison of Mathematics Teachers' Beliefs About Technology, Pedagogy, and Content Knowledge, prepared under my supervision and with Dr. Maureen Graham as co-supervisor. In his thesis, the Promovendus investigated the similarities between South African grade 9 learners and their selected international counterparts, according to the views of their teachers who participated in the 2011 Trends in International Mathematics and Science study, also known as TIMSS. In this quantitative post-positivist study, the analysis was based on 3 predictor variables, namely computer activities, teaching strategies, and the teaching of specific mathematics content. The results of the study confirmed that there is an existence of similar opinions on the use of computer activities and teacher strategies held by mathematics teachers in some of the countries that participated. At the same time, the results also showed no similarities with other countries, possibly due to differences in their socioeconomic background and uniquely different education systems. Mr. Vice Principal, I request that you confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Thanks, Prof.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Malesela Gilbert Sipuru, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Exploring the Experiences of Beginner Principals in School Leadership and Management, prepared under my supervision and with Professor S.T. Mampani as course supervisor. In his thesis, the Promovendus used the qualitative research method and case study research design. The research was conducted in the Capricorn district of the Limpopo province. Using Gron's theory of leadership, the candidate highlighted the career prospects of teachers towards school leadership. The results confirmed that beginner principals are inadequately prepared for leadership and management responsibilities. Most beginner principals depend on their teaching experience, support from professional bodies, and knowledge from further studies as principals. The recruitment process for principalship was open for manipulation. Implications were that beginner principals were inadequately prepared due to the lack of formal training program. The need for support was observable in key areas, namely human resource, financial, policy implementation, curriculum management, and stakeholder relation. The study recommends that introduction of the integrated leadership and management model to schools and for the Department of Education. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Fatima Yetunde Tiyani, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Taking First-Year College Students' Programming Skills from the Visual to the Procedural, prepared under my supervision and with Professor Rian de Villiers as co-supervisor. In her thesis, the Promovenda investigated how the integration of visual programming environment, Scratch, could support the design of a new teaching and learning process framework towards the teaching of procedural programming in QBasic in Nigeria. The study was situated in an interpretive philosophy and supported a multi-method qualitative design. 2 cycles of a practical action research strategy involving 5 stages were used. The major findings of the study revealed that the teaching intervention using the design framework promoted student engagement. The Scratch programming environment supported and enabled students to learn procedural programming concepts while simultaneously enhancing their interest and motivation in this field. These findings led to the design of a new teaching and learning process framework for teaching programming in Nigeria. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Education. With distinction, Daniela Bishop. Zanele Dibane. With distinction, Elsa Etokabeka. Riaz Ismail. Kabo Kanyao. With distinction, Jennifer Kinya. Victoria Makwela. Refilwe Mulatudi. Corneille Westhuizen. With distinction, Rejan Rue. With distinction, Kali Skuman. Sophie Sibanda. LJ Fanzale. In assessment and quality assurance in education and training, Nomahlubi Sitsa. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Honors in Computer Integrated Education, Amy Branston. Marike Duplessis. Angela Franken. Genevieve Cater. Daniel Mahopa. Firdaus Mohammed Ismaili. Nokutula Masimula. Mauke Pole. In Education Management, Law and Policy, Rutendo Komire. Dieketseng Nhlapo. Astika Singh. Ndiwo Chindani. Mark Williams. Bridget Asong Leg Fak. Alida Bezedenode. Nicola Bredenhen. Reynard Bredenhen. Shante Brown. Nakedi Dubola. Marilis Detroit. Daniel Louis Els. Jean Faber. Ashley Graaf. With distinction, Lizanne Grobler. Genevieve Herzog. Tristan Elsley. Nelicia Kleinhans. Katlego Konkobe, Lelane Krier, William Kubeka, Londiwe Kunene, Hlologelo Letwala, Is it low? Angus Low, Pride Mahlangu, Tato Makua, Kiaubaka Mangole, with distinction, Senzekile Maseko, Lerato Masha, Leti Mashaba, Bongani Mashele, Uarabile Machila, Nduduzo Mkize, Given Kilebogile Meko, Given Mokalapa, Ntswaki Mukhutswane, Mamelo Morosi, Pina Mpofu, Katlego Mpye, Wenzile Mtenjana, Tulisile Mtsweni, Jordan Muller, Dineo Nape, Thandiwe Nkambule, Dineo Nkosi, Martinus Pretorius, Lehlohonolo Sekubwane. Tembeka Shabalala. Philemon Shongwe. Moyo Soriolua Soyombo. Dean Stender. Shamara Stein. Nicola Stradom. Jessica van Kruijenberg. Johanna van Zeen. Mlungisi Zita. In life sciences education, Mutsei Bambo. Sajini Feni. With distinction, Barend Vessels. In mathematics education, Bianca Barnes. With distinction, Claire Ellsworth. Dorothy Matlala. Desiree Catherine Mlahleki. Vinolia Muchetsi. Keletso Nyakane. Elaine Phillips. Leandre Peters. With distinction, Alicia Retief. Rebabaletswe Sutloboko. In physical sciences education, Gerrit Jacobs. Mary Ndebele. In technology education, Nele Lobstro. Neliet Machiwana, Jessica Muima, Nokulunga Ntombela, Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education in Further Education and Training, Economic and Management Sciences, Laila Ghulam Hussein. Johannes Kabini. Megan Lavida. Felicia Lebona. Dineo Mutlokwa. Sina Nene. Pumlile Njangas. With distinction, Ashley Phillips. And this student receives the B.Ed Further Education and Training in Economic and Management Sciences for the best student in the degree B.Ed Further Education and Training. Millicent Ramahanedza. Nadine Rios. Tumelo Siakamela. Ruani Swart. Poshia Tsotetsi. Polile Tumailetsi. Noxolo Vena. In FET, Human Movement Sciences and Sport Management, Floris Brand. Matthew Bush. Andrea Davis. Marlies De Bruin. Carmi Diager. Chigan Deprier. Tegan Durham. Herman Engelbrecht. Jason Foree. Salmarie Human. This student also receives an award for the B.Ed Human Movement Sciences and Sport Management for the best student in this degree. Lionel Mark Hubert. Ashley Kemp. Lindsay Killen. Bradley Cook. Chanel Lazarus. Philip Leonard. Devald Lochner. Odwa Maka. Horatile Matibe. Okay. Graven McCabe. Michael Muller. Emily Phillips. Henri Potgieter. Jessa Pretorius. Liam Rochford. Kaila Skiepers. Ken van der Merwe. Anja van der Wald. Simone Woodbridge. In FET Natural Sciences, Ingrid Halser. Cindy Matibela. Jimmy Mnisi. Pumlani Mtambo. Amen Siema. With distinction, Marokhanye Shaku. This student also receives an award for the B.Ed Education, Further Education and Training Award for the best student in the degree, in this degree. Stofelina Swart. In intermediate phase, Shanice Abdul Sattar. Stephanie Andrew. Charlotte Angelo. Gabriela Ansi. Florence Banda. Eleanor Black. Sumaya Keida. Kiran Carlis Kala. Lesejo Chauge. Ashley Koch. Candice Cousins. Kayla Dunkett. Shanae Di Cavallo. Tasmin Dry. Snamile Duma. Andrea Aber. Sarah Frey. Mallory Groves. Larissa Hall. And this student also receives an award for the B.Ed intermediate phase for the best student in this degree. Christy Harris. Joanne Heineke. Bianca Holzhausen. Lauren Holworthy. With distinction, Nicola Heiserman. Nicole Hunter. Mazia Ismail. Tanik Kid. Lerato Kitsing. Nikita Knutse. Naomi Kune. Lindiwe Kunene. Gertruida Labuskaghni. Dimpo Langa. Nokuphila Langa. California Lepile. Kiabetswe Leseteli. Langelihle Longwe. With distinction, Natasha Lorejan. Pelokasi Lukhongolo. Morongwa Mabitla. Bonolo Mabuse. Njabuliso Magagula. Samugelisiwe Mahlangu. Mishka Mohammed. Smangele Makubela. Charlotte Malachi. Danette Marais with distinction. Lindiwe Mashele. Lehlohonolo Mashilo. Zinhle Matebula. Chanel McIntosh. Luvuyo Menziwa. Minette Meyer. Jessica Miller. Zakele Mzabele. Lufanelo Mnisi. Koketso Mokhochi. Ntokozo Mkoni. Betty Mulea. Ntabiseng Molefe. Florence Mulema. Kagiso Munyai. Sibongile Mutsweni. Karabo Mutsipe. Kaylee Moyes. Nolithando Mqoma. Nothando Msimango. Nadia Naidu. Andizwa Ndaba. Lindelwa Ndima. Nokwazi Ndlovu. Thembeka Ngema. Lerato Ngoza. Lindokuhle Ngwenya. Sara Ngadime. Dominic Norke. Banele Nyoni. Marisha Ulofse. Mariske Ulofse. Kelly Orr. Lynette Pelso. Roger Pelser. Shania Petersen. Dineo Racheku. Musima Ramatsetse. Pumla Sambo. Michaela Samson. Clarinda Skuman. Jenny Schutt. Tisetso Sealamo. Chani Sefulo. Lindiwe Sebanyoni. Jessica Smith. Dedrick Sneyman. Zandre van der Wever. Kaylee van Niekerk. Rosalie Fisachi. With distinction, Kelsey White. Jean-Marie Willemse. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the postgraduate certificate in higher education. Cynthia Henley Smith, with distinction. Barry Harley. With distinction, Philippa Mayor. Matapelo Pizzo. Donald Tiff. Victor Foster. Cynthia Sekubu. In postgraduate certificate in education in intermediate postgraduate certificate in education, further education and training teaching with distinction, Zerista Badenhorst. Faith Boy. What? No Pinky Boja. Tato Boys. Cornelius Brink. Marike Custins. Inos Chauge. Mishak Chavalala. With distinction, Kana Klute. Paul Crew. Haley Dawson. With distinction, Esmeralda de Meyer. Katlego Doga. With distinction, Elise Dreyer. With distinction, Marika Duplessis. With distinction, Michelle Engelbrecht. With distinction, Elaine Fick. Carla Franco. With distinction, Nicole Gonzalez. With distinction, Ntombizanele Hadebe. Stephanie Henwith Horden. With distinction, Caroline Hughes. Miriam Komani. With distinction, Renat Trio. With distinction, Anne-Marie Greer. Nora Lechodi. Refilwe Lekalakala. Tswani Leshalabe. With distinction, Natasha Lewis. With distinction, Abigail Lightbody. With distinction, Anike Lucas. Tulani Madonzela. Sandile Mahlangu. Sibongile Mahlangu. Nosiviwe Makabani. Joanna Makutu. Matilda Mallela, Bella Malope, Nokulunga Manganyela, Koketso Mango, Audrey Marobela, Karabo Maruta, Hope Mashilo, Somsindwana Masilela, Tsepiso Matswani, Thelma Mdaka, Xoliswa Mngezi, Yenzekile Mkhabela, Renelwe Mweketsi, Neo Mukala, Tanya Mutalini, Itumeleng Mphahlele, Kutlwano Msetswa, Refilwe Mtsweni, Shirandwa Mutarini, Nolwazi Nkosi, Nicole October, Michelle Potgieter, with distinction Elizabeth Pretorius, Liz Marie Riod, Mapula Segola, Audrey Sillo, Dineo Sinona, Mtetheleli Shabalala, Nompumelelo Sindani, with distinction Sibongile Chabalala, with distinction Sisk van der Heever, Christine van Rooyen, With distinction, Marlies van Wyk. Blumke Vermeulen. Joshua Weingart. With distinction, Carla Zastron. In senior phase and further education and training, teaching, with distinction, Elter Baninga. Chantel Dalhousie. Sinyathela Khatle. Jumaima Kwatala. Stephanie Lyons. Thomas Muhajani. Vonani Rambau. Taylor Scott. Ashley Seeger. Robert Tsetla. And Steve Mamabolo.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us give our graduates a big hand for their hard work and perseverance. Now, the second part. I would like to ask the graduates themselves to applaud their families, friends, spouses for all the support they received over the years. Mr. Dean, I see some applauses from non-graduates. We have come to the end of our proceedings, and before we close, I wish to invite all present here for refreshments afterwards. There's a marquee tent just outside the door here. And at this moment, you are requested to stand for the singing of the national anthem and remain standing until the assembly has been dissolved and the academic procession has left the auditorium. Those who need the words of the national anthem are the back cover of the program. Menziwa is in the house. By virtue of the powers entrusted to me, I hereby dissolve this assembly of the University of Pretoria.
Gambia.